I'll share a story that really put a bad taste in my mouth. I remember I was sitting in a green room at a huge conference that there were probably 50 pastors there. It was a huge green room, and it was like separated into another room where they got to be alone, but the door was still open so we could hear the conversation. And I remember they were talking about tithing. These pastors were talking about this, and you could feel the ego rising in the room. They started laughing and joking, like, man, like, Zach, what's the biggest tithe that you've ever gotten, like at your church? And he's like, man, the biggest tithe I've ever gotten was $100,000 check once. And they're like, nice, dude, that's awesome, dude. And I started getting like a weird feeling. I started feeling uncomfortable. And another guy, he's like, man, what's the biggest tithe that you've ever gotten? He's like, $10 million. I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, bro, that's so much money. And they were laughing and joking and stuff like that. And then they finally go to the last guy. This guy may not be the biggest guy in the room, but they said, what about you, man? What was the biggest tithe that you ever gotten? And he looked at him. He said, man, the biggest tithe that I've ever gotten from someone was their trust. And you could not drop a pin in that room. It was dead silent. One of the guys was even like, man, why'd you have to do us like that, man? Why'd you have to say it like that, dude? And it just like sobered the whole room up. I'll never forget that moment because this guy was like, their trust. That was the biggest tithe I've ever gotten.